Shalom, shalom. Before I get this lesson started, or this is going to be more of a report and a slight of a lesson, I guess, slightly of a lesson. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash, and I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone of whom I learned from, and a shalom to the whole fully elect brothers taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. That's your brother Radah. Just wanted to report on some insanity before, whether they take TikTok down or not. There's a lot of good information that comes on here, but just wanted to.
She wasn't family like the other NICU nurses were.
So this nurse, this Edomite nurse, was caught breaking, or they realized that she was breaking the bones of newly born infants, and the infants happened to be Jake. The thing was, is the hospital put her on paid administration leave for a year. Then the baby bones stopped breaking, and then when they brought her back on, all of a sudden the babies in that care unit started getting their bones broken again. So they knew that it was her. So check this wild story out, and then we'll get some precepts and we'll be done.
He's describing 26-year-old Aaron Strotman, the nurse now in jail, charged with felony child neglect and felony malicious wounding.
Wow, those charges sound bad. What could that be about? It is about a nurse in Virginia breaking the bones of babies in a NICU. The most vulnerable, defenseless human beings on the planet, allegedly breaking their bones. Around the end of November 2024, staff members discovered that 3 babies at Henrico Doctors Hospital NICU had unexplainable fractures, similar to an incident involving 4 babies in the summer of 2023. So 3 babies in November of this year, but 4 babies back in 2023. And as part of this story, they announced that they're reopening the investigation in those babies from 2023. Why were those investigations closed? You closed them not knowing how those babies got injured? Like, 4 babies with broken bones in your NICU is a lot. Why would you close the investigation if you had no idea what happened? Well, the reality is they did have an idea what happened.
Strotman was put on paid administrative leave by the hospital for a year after the 2020.
They paid this devil for a year. The system, the Edomite system, paid this Edomite for a year while they were investigating it, or just wow.
3 cases of NICU abuse came to light and then was allowed to return in late 2024.
They suspended her for a year with pay. And miraculously, during that year, no babies with broken bones. And then after a year of paying her to sit at home, after clearly suspecting her of being responsible for harming those first 4 children, they brought her back. And what happened? She immediately started breaking babies' bones. Also, I don't know the identity of all the babies involved, but so far the babies that we know about are all black. This hospital should be shut down, and the management company that manages it, because they have multiple hospitals, should really be looked at.
She wasn't. These are the 5 best.
You know, I told you guys a lot of fucked up.
This is one more. This is a nurse. This is an Edomite nurse, who also speaks out a lot about, it's the same. It's their tongues falling upon themselves. But she's going to express her disgust for this as well.
Stories on this page, but this one is particularly fucked. A nurse in Virginia is in jail tonight. Her name is Aaron Strotman for allegedly deliberately breaking the bones of black NICU babies. I actually think that's like one of the worst fucking sentences I've ever said out loud in my life. A nurse is in jail for deliberately breaking the bones of black premature infants. Before you even ask, you know exactly what she looks like. She was working at Henrico Doctors Hospital in Richmond, Virginia. And according to the hospital, there were at least 3 infants in the month of November who had unexplained fractures, all of them being black. 4 other black babies suffered similar injuries over the course of the summer. She is thankfully being held without bond.
So let's just get the precepts. There's a couple that come to mind. I want to start with Egypt, okay? Let's go all the way back, because this has been a thing with the heathen and the wicked concerning the Israelite children. Toss the male child into the river. I'm just paraphrasing it, trying to go back to Pharaoh. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born, because they were trying to kill off the seed, right? The seed line. Every son that is born, you shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive, because the nation is furthered on by the sperm of the man, right? The males are who can bring back and create or establish a house or a nation, not the women. So any Israelite woman that would grow up in this situation, if it were to have gone to fruition, all the Israelite women would have slept with Hamitic men, Hamites, and they would have had Hamite children. You see what I'm saying? They themselves would have stayed Israelites, but their offspring would have been the offspring of those men, and the Egyptians were Hamites. So you see that right there in Exodus. This is not a new thing. Okay, there's a very wicked, evil spirit that hates the seed of Jacob. Okay, let's get the other one. For thy violence against thy brother, for thy violence. This isn't against thy brother. Now specifically going into Esau. Okay, this is Obadiah, the prophet Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Let's make sure, for those of you who don't know, that Obadiah is addressing Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. The very first verse, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. The so-called white population on the earth is no more than, it fluctuates, or it's somewhere around 7 to 8%. That is how small they are on the earth. The rest of humanity is melanated. Okay? So this goes into why they have doctrines of population control and killing off the world and keeping humanity down to like 500 million. That doctrine comes out of this seed line of people, the Edomites. It's because their numbers are so small, and they're just the wicked. Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And this is what's happening now. Okay, also, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. That goes into their geographical location, Mount Seir, the Caucasus Mountains, Petra. And that can all be proven by showing you the carvings in the cliffs of the rocks that they had. And then you can see how their architectural follows them throughout Rome and here in the revised Roman Empire called America, also known as Mystery Babylon. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. We know that the eagle is the national bird of America. It's on the back of the dollar bill. It's on the quarter. It's also on Roman coins. So this symbol, this eagle, is also found in the Apocrypha in the second Ezra, chapter 11. Okay, it's also, I believe, in Jeremiah, as swift as the eagle. It could be Isaiah, but I think it's Jeremiah. So this is talking about them, all right? This is identifying this group of people. This is who they are, okay? And let's get the other precept. Let me see. I believe King David wrote this one. It's a prophecy. I believe it's King David, Malak Dawadah, our beloved king. Let me see. Dash thy little ones. Dash. And this is This is going to happen. It's hard for us to comprehend this because we don't think like this, right? Dash thy little ones against the stones or the rocks, Let me see if this is, I believe it's the Psalms. Yep. Happy shall, so look at this. Happy is Psalms 137:9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Let's read some of that. By the rivers of Babylon. So look at this. Oh, gosh. All right, this is going into a captivity. That's right. My Salakia, right when I read that first part. So look at this. Verse 1, by the rivers of Babylon, and we now know that we are in Mystery Babylon the Great, the second Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, the last Babylon. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion, our rulership, our home, our temple, our possession, right? Our inheritance, our covenant. We hanged our harps upon the, wow, it's so deep. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof, our prophecies, our worship, our prayers, our incense, our declarations, our decrees, the new song, our doctrine, our heritage, our authority. That's awesome, man. Verse 3, for there they that carried us away captive, our enemies, the Edomites, required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us myrrh, saying, sing us one of those songs of Zion. Sing and tap dance for us. Entertain us, but in a way that only the Israelites are able to entertain. Yes, it's a mockery. Yes, it's making fun of us, but you know what? No one can get down like an Israelite. They can't dance. They can't sing. They can't express poetically, lyrically, the way that we do. Even when we're being comedic. Verse 4, how shall we sing Yahweh's, Bahashem Yahushai's song in a strange land? And we are, according to Ezekiel 37, Revelations 11:11, by his grace we are. But for a long time we weren't. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy, remember your first love. Verse 7, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom. There goes that name mentioned again, you guys. How is it? All throughout prophecy, through our toil and our tribulations and our afflictions, you have this seed line, this race of people constantly being mentioned within proximity to us over and over again. Verse 7, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art, now this is talking about the future, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So what does this mean? Now look at the next line is the answer. Not only have they lynched us, not only have they broken us, not only have they raped our women and killed our children and divided our families and beat our heritage out of us and accused us and changed our identity and changed the name of Yahweh to Jehovah and changed the name of Yahushai to Jesus and made them look like Edomites and completely perverted. And this is how they crucified Yahushai again in Babylon, by changing his message and his name and his image. Look at verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. This was written by the beloved King David under the influence of the Holy Spirit, the Rakakodash, man, right? The Harakakodash, the Holy Spirit. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. This is the revelation or the answer to the statement in verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. This is a declaration. This is a prophecy. It's going to come true. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Well, what'd you guys do to us? You dashed our children against the stones. You did it through slavery. You did it to the Northern Kingdom. You're still doing it to this day. You're doing it in Planned Parenthood. What do you think Planned Parenthood is? What do you think Gator Bait is? Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood? It's an Edomite organization. This is them. The government funds this. And they target our neighborhoods. And look how deceptive. Planned Parenthood, but it's killing the children. It's devouring the children. Right? It's everything about Esau is deceptive and wicked. Those precepts identify it. Those precepts show you. These are prophecies who connect us together. And you always see Edom. It's hilarious in a horrific kind of way how Edom, I mean, look at Lamentations, man. We are connected to these people. We cannot get away from them, and they cannot get away from us. Lamentations 4:21, rejoice, and be glad, O daughter of Edom. It's talking about the future, which would be today. When this was declared, it was way thousands of years ago, being declared from then up until now. And now we are in the daughter of Zion. We are in the daughter of Babylon. We are in the daughter of Edom. It's talking about the future rulerships, future offspring, the last day results of these kingdoms when they first started. Lamentations 4:21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. This is modern day Edom from the past. Same spirits reincarnated. Same system, even more perfected and more wicked. Just we're now in the last days. The cup, the judgment, the slavery, the punishments, the low estate, the curses also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. All your sins shall be exposed. Go back. Look at this. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. So in this prophecy, you have two nations, two rulerships, two kingdoms at the same time. They're being spoken to at the same time. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more, talking about the Most High, carry thee away into captivity. You are no longer going to be on the bottom of the so-called white man. It stops now. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So as we are coming out of slavery and coming out of the curses and coming out of our low estate and our punishment for the transgressions that we did commit, for the sins that we're not innocent, you guys. We committed adultery against the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua by passing the holy seed through the fires of Molech. We would not stop worshiping the gods of the other nations. It was the number one worst thing that we did over and over again. We were disrespectful to the prophets. When we were asked to repent, we were disrespectful to Yahweh Shai when we said, we have no king but Caesar. That stuff came out of our mouths, you guys. Yes, there was a remnant. There was always a remnant. You had the disciples. You had those that believed the disciples. And there was always a remnant of prophets who did not bend the knee to Baal, of course. But I'm speaking for our nation. We did do this, man. We did transgress against our God, who is awesome. And just like we can admit our transgressions, right? We can point out the transgressions of Esau, Edom, because they won't admit it. We haven't done anything. Even in these videos, when you see them, you got to remember, okay, this is a good gesture she's doing, right? She's expressing her disgust, but all she is doing is this. She's merely fulfilling also prophecy, which is a script written in a movie. This is all she's doing. She's not going to go any further. She can't do any better than just this. And then what I'm saying, it's not what this is not bad. But notice when their own tongues. Notice when an Edomite is talking about the wickedness of Edoms, they never mention judgment. They just say, "Oh, it's bad," and that's good, right? But they can't go any further. You never hear them say, we deserve slavery. We deserve to be destroyed. You never hear them say that their country, that their rulership deserves to be destroyed. You never hear them speak like the Israelites. When we see the wickedness of our nation, we declare that the 2/3 got to go, and we hope for salvation, right? That's the difference between the elect spirits. We acknowledge our transgressions. We are hoping in the salvation of Yahweh Shai, but we are also in agreement with the death and destruction of 2/3 of our own nation, along with Edom, because of their wickedness. When you see these Edomites talking about the wickedness of their people, all they're doing is complaining about the wickedness of people, and that's as far as it goes. You never hear them mention the destruction of America. You never hear them You never hear them mention the death of the third of mankind, as mentioned in Scripture, which talks about them. You never hear them say they are worthy of the fire, of the lake of fire that is caused by the nuclear weapons that's going to burn them and melt them. They just say the first part, which is this. It's just this. So shall they make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's it. That's as far as they can go. They can't do anything else. So the small groups of Edomites, the so-called white people that are complaining about what they see their people doing, do not confuse that with some form of righteousness amongst them, because it's not. It's just a fulfillment of this script right here in the movie. That Psalms 64:8 is what you see happening right here.
Urine.
These two. With this guy and this girl very passionately expressing how bad what this lady did is.
She wasn't family like the other NICU nurses were.
He's describing 26-year-old Aaron Strotman, the nurse now in jail, charged with felony child neglect and felony malicious wounding.
Wow, those charges sound bad. What could that be about? It is about a nurse in Virginia breaking the bones of babies. Sit at home after clearly suspecting her of being responsible for harming those first 4 children. They brought her back, and what happened? She immediately started breaking babies' bones. Also, I don't know the identity of all the babies involved, but so far the babies that we know about are all black.
You know, I told you guys a lot of fucked up stories on this page, but this one is particularly fucked. A nurse in Virginia
And she's very passionate. This girl I find her attractive. She looks good. She's very passionate when she's expressing her disgust for predominantly, I think she's always talking about the hypocrisies in the so-called Edomite rulership. She's always pointing shit out. But at the same time, too, I think she herself is, I don't know if she's gay or if she's like anti-man too. She's all twisted herself, but she's constantly talking about the wickedness of Esau's kingdom, but she can only go so far. She can only do what her role is. She can only do what her position is, and it's this and no more.
In jail tonight, her name is Erin Strotman, for allegedly deliberately breaking the bones of black NICU babies. I actually think that's like one of the worst fucking sentences I've ever said.
And of course, we're not black. We are the Hebrew Israelites. That word black is a byword. It is a very destructive word that means void of light, ugly, dead. We range in different colors, mahogany to light brown to high yellow to dark chocolate, but we're not black. Just like she is not white. She has a pinkish, reddish hue to her face. You can see it. You can see her shirt. Her shirt is white. She is blushy. So those two colors are social constructs that were established, I believe, in 1861. I said it backwards. 1681 or 1689. That's when those social constructs were established to hide Jacob and Esau, so that nobody would understand who Jacob and Esau is in prophecy when Christianity was taught, because that is who the so-called white race is. They are Esau, and the so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and blacks are Jacob.
Out loud in my life. A nurse is in jail for deliberately breaking the bones of black premature infants. Before you even ask, you know exactly what she looks like. She was working at Henrico Doctors Hospital in Richmond, Virginia, and according to the hospital, there were at least 3 infants in the month of November who had unexplained fractures, all of them being black. 4 other black babies suffered similar injuries over the course of the summer. She is thankfully being held without bond at Henrico County Jail and has a court date set in March 24th to be exact. And this is actually the craziest part to me because the hospital knew that this was going on. She was put on paid administrative leave for an entire year in 2023. Came back to work, came back to her job in 2024, harmed more babies, and just now she's being put in jail? You're telling me you had a nurse that you knew was harming newborn, like neonatal infants, and you put her back on the floor? I hope these families sue fucking it.
And so you can see the comments of people going back and forth. History and recent occurrences would prove her point right, but y'all like to deny that. Or current stories. Even if it's true, look at history. Just the last 2 centuries will do. No, it isn't hot. Someone's going, because there's someone was saying that a sister, a Judite said, oh, they're the worst people that walk the earth. And then someone said, isn't that racist? It's like, dude, quit trying to, you know what I mean? This back and forth. It is what it is, you know? Extremely. Sadly, this is very true. History confirms it. Those of us who see it happen need to be part of the change. That so badly needs to happen. So that sounds like it's an Edomite, right? Again, it goes back to the prophecy. One guess who the nurse vote for. Now she won't be allowed to, hopefully, brain rot. We know who you and the nurse voted for. The same smile, evil spirits of y'all's ancestors who feed babies to crocodiles. Talking about gator bait. So see this all, and the thing is that this the Edomites have to pay for this stuff. There's no going back and forth. You cannot tell the group of people who were wronged, and that's been the thing with the Edomites is they've gotten away for so long with the atrocities that they've committed against us and the rest of the world that now they have this narrative that when you speak about what they have done, the way they have done it, somehow you're the racist or you're not being loving. That is a false balance. The Most High is all about balance. Okay, if you do it, it has to be done unto you. Look what the prophecy said. Look how the scripture is right. Look how the scripture is right. These Edomites claim to know the Bible, right? But no, they don't. So if you just in this one prophecy alone, look at verse 8. O daughter of Babylon. It's talking about the Edomites today who are to be destroyed. This is a declaration of prophecy unto them. Happy shall he be. Now this is another person, Yahushai and the elect Israelites, right? That rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Right there. You see the eye for an eye. What did so-called white people do to us? Then that is exactly what must be done to you. And our point is proven. When you hear her, I'm going to let her play, right? She's talking about suing. No, your entire race has to go through this, sweetie.
Everybody. I hope you sue everybody. And I used to get...
Suing's not the answer. Her getting a lump sum of money doesn't fulfill this. Verse 8, the last half of verse 8. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Why is verse 9 written this way? Because they did verse 9 to us in verse 8. They did this to us, therefore it must be done to them. I'll pull up another precept. As thou hast done, I believe it's also in Obadiah, as thou hast done. Yep. See, it's in the prophecy of Obadiah that identifies Esau. It's the 15th verse. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. That's Yahweh Shaphat. That's the valley of Jehoshaphat. The Armageddon, when all the missiles hit and the chariots are burning up everybody. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Let's see it again. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. So,
really defensive when people would
what
say,
have these people done? They've hurt our children, right? Their children are going to be hurt. Oh my God, that's such a mean thing to say. It's balance. It's judgment. You guys have to drink the cup. You have to drink the exact same cup we drink. How is it that so-called white people don't understand this about themselves? How can you sit in your position and see what your people have done for so long and not think it's going to happen back to you? The Most High is for sure going to make it happen to you. Okay? So,
that nursing is the equivalent of cops for white ladies. But I get it now. Fucking everybody. I hope.
look at the point. Look what she said. Look what just came out this chick's mouth about the entire medical industry, how white women have the authority to harm the Israelites in these rooms when we are vulnerable, the same way Edomite cops can do what they do to us out in the streets. Look what she just said, man.
You sue everybody. And I used to get really defensive when people would say that nursing is the equivalent of cops for white ladies. But I get it now. I told you guys a lot of fucked up stories on this.
It took this story for this Edomite bitch to fucking admit that. See, and we don't have time, you guys. We don't have time. We don't have the next 1,000 years to wait for us to get beaten into pulps over and over again, for Edomites to witness it over and over again, for them to finally say, you know what? You're right. We are wicked. It's like, fuck all that, man. The scriptures say what they say. For the day of Yahweh is near upon the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Look what else it says. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Look at this. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. I'm talking about the northern and southern kingdom. And the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash hath spoken it. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, of whom I learned from. And a shalom to the whole feet elect brothers, taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah. Shalom.